Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Do you have your lemon? Do you have your water? Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. God bless each and every one of you for jumping on in. Having a blessed day. God bless each and every one of you for being here. Just want to put on my glasses because it was a long night of traveling and getting things ready and having to set up in the morning. So let's put the lemon into the water. Let's do what we got to do. And I got a story behind the tie and all that too. So stay tuned if you want the story behind the tie. Every tie has a story, or should have a story at one point or another. This tie definitely has a story. So shout out to everybody here. My man up 80% on the week, banging on him to the upside. It's been a good week of trading. Bitcoin's been tough, but some altcoins have produced gains. And it hasn't been all too shabby, has it? Shout out to my lovers of life. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's take a look at Bitty Bitty Bitcoin like we do every single day here on the channel. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. I may say it a few too many times. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. Pepe 2.0 getting a little bit of a push up from the 3.2 all the way to the 4.6 area, up about 25%. Can it continue to pump up to the 200 SMA? Highly likely that we may get that move all the way up to the 200 SMA. I've seen that happen many times in my life, and it may happen again right here. All right. Terra Classic, which is interesting to me, is back on the prowl. Something's going on. You know what I mean? The old Luna crews are back up to their old tricks, and there's something brewing here, and I would not be surprised. I don't know if I remember we first started trading Terra Classic last July. Actually, no, it was June. I just remember it because when I first put it out, I was staying with a friend. I think my wife went to visit family again. I don't know what happened. It was a week. Same thing about last year, but I got a week to go visit my mom and dad alone, just me. And I only have a few friends left on Martha's Vineyard that I, see all the time. And one of my buddies, Greg, was there. And me and Greg had this kind of retreat. You know what I mean? Just me and him. We'd go on bike rides. We'd go on a walk. We'd go to the beach. We'd get some food together. And I was either with my mom or dad or with Greg, or working. You know what I mean? And that was kind of my week. Same thing happened this time, but my dad has passed. But Greg happened to be there again. And me and my man Greg held on. I met Greg when I was probably 12 or 13. And I'm 40 years old. So anyway, this looks beautiful to me. I see a possible move moving to the upside. Why am I so nice? Can anyone tell me why I'm so nice? Why do I give setups for free constantly that are likely going to play out and help people make money on the live stream? Why? You know what? Because when I pass away, I want people to tell my daughters, you know what? Your father was a great man. I want people to look at my wife and say, you know what? He did everything he could for other people. I want my mom to be proud. I want my dad to be proud. It all goes back to the legacy of who my parents were and who my dad was. No, seriously, it's like, and I want you to feel what I feel. I never want to feel free and have someone else not feel free. Because if you're not free, then I'm not free either. Being free together is being free. You know what I mean? That's just, and maybe I got it twisted. Maybe it should be every man for themselves, and I should go for mines. But I'm someone that actually can feel other people's pain. So my pain is your pain. And if I see that you're not winning and you're in my circle or someone that I know and you're struggling and you're a good person, some people deserve it, right? It's karma comes back to you. You mess with everyone around you, eventually your life comes back. But so, I believe I innately want to see you do good. You know what I mean? I will be free indeed. Lieutenant Dan Dangle, God bless you. Ken Mack, God bless you. John Caravallo, Katama Beach, man, God bless you, John. Hang out with me there, man. Let's hang out. GVao getting crazy price action. Let's talk about GFAL later on today. That's exciting. Crypto Bear Baker, our crypto father. Shout out to everybody here. Sam is the real deal. Holyfield. Shout out to Adam Delgado in the house. I have your show times in all of my profile descriptions. Crypto Bear Baker, we love you. Darth Dude. You can judge the greatest characters by how willing they share information. Crypto Lifer. God bless you, Darth Dude. We love you, man. So I see a possible big move coming here for Terra Classic on the 1 hour time frame. That just looks lovely to me. You know, I'd keep my stop loss below this previous low at 153,880 and see what I can get, or 154,140. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. And I may or may not enter this trade. I'm not in it right now, and I haven't entered it. You know, will depend on what Bitcoin does, the rest of the market. 15-minute looking pretty nice. Even the 7-minute, when they're all low like that, to me, I can't really get a better entry. I like what's going on here with Terra Classic. Interesting. 41% gains on the table for the measured move. And these are things that I find all day long, all the time. You just happen to be with me when I found it right now. You got lucky. You came to the, I know it sounds crazy. You just got lucky. You came to the live stream at the right time. I happen to have been doing what I do because this is what I do, and you saw it and you took advantage, right? And so anyway, or you may take advantage, or maybe you don't. Maybe it goes to zero. Who knows what happens to that? There's only a probability that says it could make a move. That's all. That's all. Doge was on our radar. We had it somewhere else. We had it looking at. One thing I do want to talk about is that link. Remember, I put out Chainlink. There was a bunch of 4 hours. I just want to show you how, how fun this can be. But we put out Chainlink on the 4 hour time frame in this falling wedge. This thing is up nicely, right? And now look, it's starting to make a flag here on the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at that. Chainlink staying pretty bullish, consolidating here after its nice sprint to the upside, to say the least. I mean, that's a big move. Considering Chainlink doesn't do a lot, that's huge. Like that move, consolidation, that move, there's some buy pressure here for Chainlink, back up to 8 beans. I like what I'm seeing here for Chainlink. I don't know about you. Who here is a fan of Chainlink? Is Chainlink your thing? Let me know. You know what I mean? Is Chainlink your thing? You know what I mean? Like, is Chainlink your thing? I don't know. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to gauge. Do you still hold? I said, did you still, right? Do you still hold? HODL, I should say. I should really keep it real, right? Do you still HODL? Did you buy any in the bear? Link. I just want to know, like... These are questions I love Twitter because I ask questions I really want to know. You know what I mean? I really would like to know, is Chainlink your thing? And it's not trending right now. I'm not trying to run with the trend. I'm not trying to get likes and views. I personally want to know what's going on with Chainlink. Do other people like Chainlink? Are they accumulating? Am I going to get a bunch of people say, oh, come on, man, it's Chainlink, it's a wrap? Or am I going to get a bunch of people that actually respond here and like, oh, I'm still in, I like it. I can't wait to see what happens in a few hours here to this tweet for Chainlink. But Chainlink's still consolidating here a little bit. Can't say it's perfect per se, but starting to do something sideways here. Kind of a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. I'll give you that. But it's oversold in the 1 hour time frame. Oversold, getting oversold in the 4 hour. Let's see what the 4 hour, too far away from the 21-day moving average for me to make a move. I say it makes some type of flag here, but if it can hold above 777, the 777 strike again. Funny, before my dad passed, I don't know if you remember, for the whole month, we saw 777s all the time, 777s all the time. We don't see them anymore, like as much. And it's kind of weird, as if something was telling me, like, it's time, like something's going to change in your life. A big move is coming. Be prepared for a big move is coming. Next time I start seeing 777s again, I'm going to pay attention. Because no, I'm not saying we see it here and there now, but back before, right, for a whole month straight before my dad. It's funny, right as I say that, 377 concurrents. But shout out to everybody here on the live. 377 people on the live, 119 likes on this beautiful Friday. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Let's get the energy up. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We only have one life to live. Let's do this. It's each and every one of you that can get me to the top. I used to stream to 3 people, then more people came. Then 3 people hit the like button, then 10 people hit the like button, then we had 100 likes, right? It's each and every one of you that got me here. I just showed up every day, and together we made it happen, right? We found gains, we found moves, we found ideas, we had a blast. And we're going to continue to do the same thing. You keep showing up, but I need each and every one of your support. I need your help. I can't do it alone, all right? I know where I'm getting out before I get in, man. I like that. I like that. Link on the 15 Head and Shoulder Possible Bart Head. Top of the morning to you and your loved ones. Sammy, you grow, I grow. We love you, brother. H-Bar, Ada, Gala, Algo, Ton, Ripple, CFX, RPL, actually, Rocket Pool, Matic, Near, our baby Kaz getting some volume this lovely Friday. Wow. 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 TLN is getting a little bit of love. We're going to talk about that, right? The Telegram coin, right? Everyone like for the Legend Lifer. Shout out to Zachary Gilbert in the house. We love you. Bang, bang, bang. And people learning how to trade in the trading group and then spreading the love to each other. That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes me happy. All right. That's what it's all about. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. And one thing I want you to understand, you would have learned about this link trade before it happened right there. No perfect look, stop loss right at the low. No stop loss got hit. This thing banged on him for 20% gains. Chain link, right? Constant gains coming into the live stream, to the live. And even I see something earlier this morning that looks highly likely going to break out. I posted it to the trading group. You won't be able to see it, but if you're in the trading group, you will. It's $3 a day. Don't play with yourself. Don't, it's like you ever go to a restaurant and you're gonna get you're gonna go and have a great time, and then you chintz on the appetizer. Instead of getting 2, you only get 1. At the end, you finally say no to the dessert, and you just don't go all the way, and you don't give yourself everything you need. I'm the dessert at the end of that, man. I'm the big bad dessert at the end of the pay the $99, give yourself dessert. And I know that sounds funny, but you know what I mean. Mass gains 8%, link gains 26%, XDC up 26%. 3 days, banging on them to the upside. XRP before it happened, up 12%. We'll take a look at that again. H-Bar banged on them. That was on the live stream. BBC up 229 when we first put it out. Even just on a quick swing trade up 50%. Another chain link at the beginning of that move to the upside. Caspa we put out on the live stream. Even showed you when I put my money in. ID, right? And then we have elite traders, not just me posting charts. Sean hitting it. We have Stack McChange. I mean, it's just, you get exactly what you pay for. I'm telling you right now. So jump in today and change your life. I'm going to make sure you change your life. I'm going to be here every day. I'm going to be on you. I'm not going to allow you to fall off. If you fall off, it's because you seriously you're going to have to run from me. You know what I mean? You're going to have to like purposely run away from your life. We are going to be here. The lifers aren't going anywhere. So jump in today, all right? Join the trading group. Jump into where we trade, which is MEXC Global. MEXC Global is the best place to trade. It's going to give you 0 fees. I'm telling you. It's the best thing you could do, MEXC Global, all right? I just want to sign into my MEXC account, see what's crack-a-lacking, get ready for the day. Man, I'm just blessed to be here with each and every one of you. We're going to break down Bitcoin in a second. We're going to talk about everything Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the DXY and see what's happening to the dollar index. I have a huge show for you. We got a story behind the tie. We're going to talk about the tie. We got so much to talk about today. As I reflect on my life, this summer has been insane because the summers are always kind of times where I remember being a kid. Every summer, I go back to the summer house and I remember the move to the summer house. I remember getting everything ready. I remember my dad being a fanatic about getting the car packed the night before and having everything right. And, my dad was a stickler. Everything had to be right. You know what I mean? 0% spot maker and taker fees here on MEXC Global. I'm telling you, I had money in an account that I had to move, and I figured, why move it to another account? Why don't I it was already connected to Binance US. So I said, why don't I just, buy some Bitcoin? And it was like $5,000. So I lazily go and I just hit the transfer button, and I forget to transfer the money through spot and actually buy it as a trade, you know? And they hit me with the fees. And I'm telling you, I think I must have spent $400 in fees. I paid a little over the price, like $150 over. And then I also got hit with a big fee. Had I just sent the tether over to MEXC Global and bought, I would have paid 0 fees. And I still can't believe that. Absolutely 0 fees. And so the same thing I do here is every couple of days, I buy $250 worth of Bitcoin spot. All right. So I go over here to their spot area. I hit spot. All right. And say I want to buy BTC. I type in BTC and I DCA. Nothing crazy. And to me, anything below 30K now, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. Put it right here. I want to buy $250 worth, right? Buy Bitcoin. And that adds up over time. 10 of those is $2,500. That's almost 0.1 whole Bitcoin, right? Next thing you know, you have $5,000. Next thing you know, it's 10 grand. Next thing you know, somehow you have amassed a Bitcoin if you continue to do it at the right times. Before Bitcoin gets too high. Next thing you know, Bitcoin's too high and it's over, right? And that order got filled. We're ready to go. So that was a 0 fee order. You see that? And I limited in with a limit order, but I could have marketed in and still paid 0 fees, which I find absolutely fascinating. Like I find that absolutely fascinating. So anyway, jump on in today, pay attention, see what's going on, why I use MEXC Global, why I'm doing that. So, and let's see what people are saying here about Chainlink. Yeah, I bought near the low. I still hold my long-term bag. I also did short-term trading line. Yes, Link is my thing. Okay. Swapped all mine into a better interoperability solution called Quant. Probably heard of it. Okay. I accumulated after it dropped in the Wyckoff Spring and took out those long-term lows. My man, sounding like a smart pants. Yes, they're doing something with Axelar, announced in France. Interesting. Okay. Hey man, Chainlink ain't going anywhere. They're attached to too many big projects. One day a big project's gonna come out and they're gonna be like, oh, by the way, we use Chainlink. You know, I found food gets a lot of views, 61,000 views this tweet. So I'm experimenting with some food tweets, and you know what? Look at that. I mean, that's viral city, right? And people like ribeyes, mostly ribeye. I'm a ribeye guy. Bone-in ribeye, bone-in filet, rump, rare. I just ask people their different cuts of meat. I know you didn't come here for that, so I'm gonna move on. But right? Anyway, I also have Atom play as Cosmos. Changed my mind. I love Atom. It's amazing interoperability. It's the hub that connects multiple chains. I'm 100% with you. Spot on, baby. Spot on. All right. So we got some cat ears for Bitcoin. 1, 2. We can't get above this local resistance now. 29,950 is a stubborn area for Bitcoin. We can't get above the zone. And we had a nice flag this morning. I started this morning with this flag. Say, hey, watch the 15-minute. We could get a break to the upside. We did. Beautiful scalp. We popped up almost to the 200 SMA, but couldn't get to it, but got pretty dang close, right? And you had a bit of a cut with the handle. We broke out. You could say we're retesting right now. Slight retest here right now, in my humble opinion. We have another little flag that could break out to the upside. It's Friday. You're going to have lower liquidity. So it's harder to get to those moves. Flags don't break out as much. Things take a longer time. Not every time. You can have violent moves on Friday. Like we had earlier, we had a short squeeze and a long squeeze. Look, they got the longs and the shorts. Leverage trading on a Friday is, let me explain. And I've said this many times, but look at trading like swimming across, say there's a beautiful bay, all right? And there's one of the most beautiful beaches with the most gorgeous water on the other side, and that's winning a trade, all right? And everyone wants to get to that beautiful beach. They want to get to the other side. Everyone wants to win the trade, right? They want to be on the other side. So they try to get there, and what happens is when they swim across, but there's sharks. There's tons of sharks in the water. That's like leverage trading. And the more leverage you use, the more sharks are in the water. Like the harder it is for you to get to the other side, the higher the leverage you use. It's like swimming slower or something, or just more. So, and let's get those likes up to the watchers, everybody. Let's get it going. 180 likes. Is there something wrong with my screen? Is there something wrong with the screen? What is going on? Where are my lifers at, baby? Shout out to Gasper Oliveira. Shout out to Rhino Trades. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker. Shout out to John Skank. Shout out to Eric Carlson. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's go, baby. Let's get the energy up. What do I got to do to get you out of your seat? Let's go. Woo! Sorry, but like, let's get it going, baby. Let's get the movement to the upside, man. Let's get it moving. I know it's Friday. I know it's July, but let's get it going, baby. Let's go. Get that energy flying. There we go. 200 likes, 206 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Lifer Adam in the house. Shout out to Lekochi Coker in the house. Eric Carlson, Mountain Man. Zoran Bregovic, my man. Crypto Bellico, FUD Expert. Sizer. Everyone say hi to this man. I haven't seen him before. Cyphers, man. We love you, brother. Thanks for coming on in. A-Train, we love you. Mystery School, we love you. Greg Novak, my man. And today I'll be on the Wendy O Show today at 1 p.m. Jump on in today. I can't believe that. That's going to be awesome. Catch the Crypto Lifer and a few other awesome guests on the Wendy O Show today, 1 p.m. Pacific time. All right? Which is, 1 p.m. Eastern time. 10 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, I'll be on the Wendy O Show today. I can't wait to see you all. Jump on in, Lifers. Show that support. Let's swarm that stream and let them know who the Lifers are. In the nicest way possible, too. Being super nice and polite. Tell Wendy, you love her, But let's let the community represent and show them that we care about crypto and that we're the one. Man, we got a strong community. Shout out to Green Coin. God bless you for jumping on in. I want to share my chart analysis for your stream on Twitter. Mafia, baby. Go ahead, my man. Do what you got to do. I like it. So we still got this big ball of liquidity down at 29,003, 29,400 area. Says we may want to eat that up. All right. For BOOKMAP. Right now I'm watching this little flag. 50-minute is flipping. Resistance. Could we get a retest in this zone? Bit of a point of control right there. Can we bounce off that point of control and get through this gap in the VRVP back up to 30,000? Can we reclaim 30K? And I kept being bearish. I said, I'm bearish if we can't close above 30,003, and we kept losing the area, so you can see why I was bearish over and over again, Interesting that I always see things like, look, this kind of an Adam and Eve, and it did break up the base to the upside. Isn't that funny? Just crazy. So anyway, we're watching this very closely. This little flag, as it comes down to retest again, can it get the move to the upside? 1 hour still has some legs. 15-minute is attempting to flip back to the upside. 7-minute is still oversold, kind of double bottoming. Tells me there's a chance we could get the move to the upside here for Bitcoin. So desperately need to get back above 29,950 to remain bullish. If we can get back above that area, we can start to cook, or at least kind of get above the zone. Otherwise, we'll make a right shoulder here, kind of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. I could see a dumpage. So watch this little flag. We could M pattern here too. Watch out for the M here. And then we dump. All right. Bullish scenario, bearish scenario. Let's look at the bigger picture. I like this little flag on Chainlink. I'd watch it closely with an alert. Chainlink just has, I guess, Axelar and some new news here going on in France. Things seem to be brewing with Chainlink. Has a little bit of a buzz, man. It's been a while since I've seen it move the way it moved. And somehow, I don't know why, but I was able to... I never do Chainlink. Next thing I hit it, it hits. And I can't control the price of Chainlink. It's got too big of a... Somehow I'm intuitive, and somehow we go over the right stuff at the right time. And look at that. We talked about the 77 today. 77. Pretty interesting. Keep the likes up. You guys are pumping us up. We're getting to 500 viewers. See, it's each and every one of you. You guys are in control of this YouTube algorithm. You guys are in control of the movement. You guys are in control of my fate. All right? So, like, each and every one of you keeps putting in that effort. Somehow you change my life. We get to these crazy levels. So, let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame for Caspa. All right? If you were with me, I put it here in this cup and handle, talked about the move, and ever since it went to a high of 67, still gains, 53% gains since about July 11th. I mean, come on now, in 10 days. We've been hitting multiple gains in the trading group the last week, and it's shown while the whole A lot of other groups are just kind of you know. We're continuing to grind, and people are just nailing it. We have a leverage trading course. We have people teaching leverage. We have a leverage group, people getting heavy into their just all sorts of different strategies. We have ways to help you how to mitigate losses. We'll teach you how to use a demo account first so you can understand how to trade before you actually start throwing money around. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but if you can't double $100, common sense says you have no business putting more money into anything in any market, right? So we teach people basically how to build a strategy before they start pouring money into the market. And that's what I can do for you. I have a strategy. I have a 9-point checklist. I have a PowerPoint that I can leave you with. I teach a class the last Saturday of every month. I highly suggest you take my class. You'll get to sit with me live. It's awesome. I used to teach it once a week. I may start doing that again once the market picks back up. You know, it's just summertime. I want more time with my family and my kids. But once my kids go back to school, I'm grinding. I can give a little bit more of that time back to each and every one of you. All right. Right now I am watching this kind of, it could be a shoulder head and a right shoulder. We're watching it. But if it can make that higher low, you're looking for the higher high. So low, high, higher low, higher high. Casper breaks that high of 35. I mean, it is going to push further to the 4.4. The all-time high is right here at about 4.25. So that's going for an all-time high. Casper's very close to price discovery. Very, very close to price discovery. It is getting a little overbought on the bigger time frames. That 3-day chart is getting a little high. Remember, that's kind of our tell sign. We like to trade Casper on the 3-day. It's been good to us. Very good to us. Also the daily, a little far away from the 21 SMA. High risk when you start trading against the bigger time frames. My trading style is about encompassing multiple time frames on a checklist and seeing how they all kind of fit together. All right? You want to make sure you're doing, again, you do whatever makes you happy, but if you're going to learn my system, you got to do your due diligence. You can't just jump and do a trade. But that's what I love about my system is it teaches you how you can't just do whatever you want. There's a method to the madness. There's a way to get it done. And there's a way to find the probability that best suits you. And you don't do whatever you want. You do what the math tells you makes the most sense. It's just like being strategic on, I talk about war a lot, but it's a lot like, hey, where do we go? What do we do? Well, look at the GPS. Do we attack from this side? Do we go, well, there's a windstorm over there. Okay. Maybe you're coming back in the day you were sailing. There's a windstorm over here. The wind's in your favor on the north flank. So you take the north flank because that's what the technology tells you, right? Back then technology, a weather vane was technology. Something above your house that showed you where the wind was blowing. I mean, that's technology. Back then, you didn't know how to find, it's funny how people don't realize technology were just anything that benefited people, right? And anything that could automatically benefit you too, that did it on its own, right? And back in the day, the beginnings of technology were very basic, but they were still technology, right? So Casper, man, I do see what you're seeing here starting to brew, and it could get and this is a little flag in here too. See this? So we just want Bitcoin to stay sideways, and Casper can continue. Casper's been the one, and it's been holding its own really, really nicely. I've been dollar cost averaging and swing trading Casper in front of everyone here on MEXC Global, all right? My Casper bags have ballooned to somewhere over 10K, right? From where we are right now, 10,004, yeah, 10.4. I think that's the highest they've been, 10.4 for Casper. Not to be confused with Casper, which I also like to accumulate here on the channel. All right, but 308,000 Casper, unbelievable. It goes to $1. That's $308,000. Insane, right? You never know. If it turns into 150, 300, 200 grand, I'll be a happy man. Could I get your thoughts on BRISE chart, MEXC? Thank you for saying that. I love BRISE. Solid idea here. So we're watching to see if this flag can break up back to the upside. So far, it's trying to do so on the 15-minute time frame. 7-minute is overbought, attempting to get a boost up. We don't want an M pattern, and we got to break this high right here on the left to remain somewhat, but we got to crawl out of this. You crawl out of bearish holes, all right? The one good thing about this is that's a sharp swing down, well, that's a sharp swing up. You have a beautiful bullish divergence there, which tells you that should be your temporary bottom till you climb up to a swing high, okay? So we should come in and attempt to hit this swing high because of this divergence. But so far, we can't breach the resistance here. We got to get above this local resistance. The bulls got to show up here, even on a low liquidity Friday, which is tough, you know? Why do I always say, you know? I don't know. I think it soothes me a little bit, you know? Just buy and hold Caspo, my man, and get rich, right? And get super rich, right? I mean, I swing traded a little bit, but I don't want to ever lose my bag, so I'm very cautious when I buy and sell it, and I'm very watchful about it. I had to be it took so long last time. Had to be super cautious about it. But that's starting to flag out. I'm watching this flag for Caspa for my crew and everyone else. I'll throw an alert there too, so I'll be alerted to what could go down for Caspa. If it crosses this dotted line, I know something else is brewing too. All right. DXY, I got to take a look at the DXY. I'm yearning. All right, so far it's been getting the bounce back to the upside. Crawling slowly back above 100. Couldn't stay below the 100 region. It's almost like they forced it. Made a flag here. Eventually did break out of the flag. 21 crossing the 50. You know, it's a bullish sign on the 4-hour time frame. You're very overbought, and you're getting some bearish divvy here as this is swinging up harsh, but not as much on the stochastics. Telling us that we should get a breakdown. This is forming a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time back to where they began. So you'd like to see this rejection for the dollar index. However, if you pattern trade, I mean, top of the pattern, bottom, you're likely to come back to the top of the pattern. The 4-hour is overbought, though. We'd love to see this crash back down to the downside here and get rejected. We see a bunch of liquidity right here, so this would be an area where you would see some resistance for the dollar. So right now it's hitting resistance. Let's take a look at the 1-hour. 1-hour also overbought. And you know what I like, what I'm seeing here is definitely the bearish divvy. That's swinging down sharply on the 1-hour. We're overbought on the RSI, and this is swinging up. It's a good sign that we could be hitting a resistance here for the dollar. Could give us a little bit of a weekend rally for Bitcoin if we get this dump back to the downside. Where we look, I mean, there's a 68% chance this occurs based on the 4-hour and the 1-hour both being overbought here to the downside on the dollar index. So that's something we're going to watch closely. And that's a nice little Friday, little Friday alpha there. Shout out to my man, Jonathan Narodetsky. Jonathan, we love you. What's your opinion on either doing DCA weekly or making monthly or bi-weekly larger purchases into Bitcoin? What do you think about Gala? Appreciate you. Jonathan, we love you. And that is Jonathan's first super chat. Jonathan, thank you for jumping on in. We greatly appreciate it. What do you think about Gala? I think Gala's great. I believe Gala is a great long-term hold. I hold it for long-term, and I believe it's only a matter of time before Gala does get, continues to pump in, the whole kind of metaverse gaming narrative booms. We have it would be Web3, gaming, AI, and I think the whole kind of ecosystem together will have a bit of a move, Is XRP really going to pump, or is it a scam? XRP, I believe, is not a scam. It's a real coin. You know what I mean? I know how you feel. It's just been a long time coming, right? Using and right daily usually proves one. Wow, what a weirdo. Strange people. I stay away from negative situations and negative people immediately. Second, someone's strangely negative or weird, I get away from them. White paper and website dropped today. Also, it's up 80%. Probably nothing. King, okay. Gala is the next Amazon. I DM'd you lifer. Thank you, Sean. Am I doing something wrong? Sean, what did I do? What did I do, Sean? Okay, Wendy O canceled the show today. She can't make the show today. Traveling, things happen with the kids. Kids home from school, you never know. They get sick, things are happening. So, no Wendy O show today. No Wendy O show today. Okay, shout out to Love Learning. I love you. Thank you for all the support and everything you give me. We love you, Love Learning, and we appreciate you more than you would ever know. Wendy O is she's just a nice person, and she's a real person too. Check out Dead Acer, the new Pepe killer. Oh my God. Now we got Dead A out here. You guys are funny. Why are you looking dark today? Something wrong with the lights? You know what it is? It's no, I'm just... I'll get it. I thought the same thing. I thought I looked dark today. Thank you for saying something. You're a good cameraman. Got to get this guy in the studio. You know what it is? I switched places and I didn't... I should be a little lighter now. No? It's a little bit of... I thought I looked dark too, though. I'm with you on that. I just got to open up the iris a little bit. That's all. All right. Let's get a handle on the stream. It's getting out of control over here. Let's get back into brass tacks and break it down. Another thing I want to take a look at is Bitcoin dominance. We got to do the hard work. It's not easy. But, so far the dollar doesn't look, looks all right. So, look, we talked about Bitcoin dominance being an impossible bear flag, breaking to the downside. A little bit of relief rally for those altcoins, right? And if you think about it, we got that pump, flip it upside down, we got that pump. Basically, this was the flag that I kept posting on the 4-hour that Chainlink was in, and look, as Bitcoin dominance let go, what happened? The altcoins got the pump. I'm upside down right now. So if you ever want to trade altcoins, flip Bitcoin dominance upside down, take a look at your altcoins, see if you can see some similarities, correlation there. If you see that, so like I'm the guy. See, there's technical analysis and there's indicators, and then there's people that then you want to mix and match real data with your subconscious mind, and you want to feed your subconscious mind data over and over again. Eventually, your mind's going to be able to juggle the data better than most people because that's what you're going to be able to work with. You keep doing that over and over again, and so I'm teaching how to bend the mind every day here. Do you get it? I want you to use your brain in a different way than you've been using it before. And what you have to do is you have to block out a lot of other stuff. Going into nature is going to help because it's going to cleanse. So when you start this process and you start technical analysis, first thing you should do is maybe go on a 1 weekend, 2 to 3 day trip in nature. And just tell yourself, I'm going to be doing technical analysis soon. I'm not going to be watching, and get rid of the violent shows on Netflix. Get rid of all these subconscious triggers. They're going to take you out of a frequency, vibrational movement. You want to stay in a vibrational frequency. This is the key to life. I'm telling you right now. Staying in a vibrational frequency, though, is not easy. It takes discipline. Once you get in it, you can stay in it, and you'll be in it. You'll watch what you eat. You'll drink the right things. You'll be very cautious of what you put in and out of your body because you'll be working this frequency. You see what I mean? So that then will in turn teach, you'll start learning technical. You'll learn anything better in that when you're in that vibrational frequency. So that's how to be successful at anything in life. And so I'm bringing you into technical analysis. I want you to have fun at it. I figured out a key for the human body to become successful, and you play with these frequencies in your mind. You start by creating endorphins and chemicals because your brain is chemical. So if you want to feel good, and if you're feeling depressed, it's because you have the wrong mix of chemicals going on in your brain. You have the wrong mix of chemicals, it's time to change them. How do we change them? We change them with exercise. Through exercising, we can wake up and feel different. We can change the chemical makeup of our brains. So if we're feeling depressed, if we're not feeling right, it's due to a chemical imbalance. We're not getting enough serotonin. Something's happening that's throwing us off from our regular self, right? So we begin to work out. The workout, what does it do? It begins to change the brain. It changes the way the brain's chemicals are aligned. We create endorphins, natural endorphins. We all of a sudden just feel better. We realize we're a being. There's life inside. Things begin to change. All of a sudden, there's a sense of self. The next day we work out, you continue this process, and next thing you know, you're not the same energy force you were a month ago when you were depressed. You begin to change. And this is the process in which I, generally kind of teach on the back end if you're in the trading group. And I've helped, a bunch of people said, hey, I was on drugs, I was drinking, I was doing this, and I joined your trading group, and my life has never been the same. And we live in love, we preach love, because the love frequency is what got me here. I follow my heart, and that's how I got the channel, that's how I got a following, that's how you people even know who I am. So, anyway, Bitcoin dominance. It formed this, the symmetrical triangle broke flat to the downside. We got that big move in the altcoins, right? And then now we have a kind of a bullish divergence here and this could be a falling wedge, broke out, broke back inside. Or we could say it's a big, giant, broadening falling wedge. You see that? We have a resistance for it at 50.23, but there is a bullish divergence there. And that tells me we could get a bounce here up on Bitcoin dominance. 4 hour also looking pretty nice, and we're very oversold on the daily. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a bounce even just to the top of this range, even if eventually we broke to the downside. However, a broadening falling wedge does break to the upside over time, 68% of the time. And you're kind of hugging, this is interesting, right? But bear with me now. This swing low to this swing low is an uptrend. You got a down, you're hugging on a little bit of hidden bullish. I know it's hard to see, but do you get me here? And so I would expect the bounce for Bitcoin dominance. I would watch the altcoins that suggest that Bitcoin could get a bit of a move here to the upside. Let's take a look at Tether dominance. And Tether dominance should kind of, so remember old Tether dominance, ever since we've looked at it, the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder, we've been watching this head and shoulder pattern. It has a measured move all the way back down to 5.59. All right? I mean, that would be glorious. What's interesting to me is it has a bigger shoulder head and a shoulder too that could break to the downside. So some bearish tones. All right. It also is following some bearish divergence too over time. So, we're waiting for this drop. This should be overbought on the daily, and it should be getting overbought on the 4 hour time frame as suggested. And so look, and then you should see a resistance. So look, I mean, you have this trend line out, resistance. You can't seem to get above this. And then you also have this line here that is, this point of control here, which you're losing, 7.25, which you've lost today and you're playing games with. Now, you could say shoulder, head, and right shoulder in a way. I get it. But for the most part, I mean, if I shrink this down, take away the moving averages for a second, that's a chubby triangle right there, symmetrical. Most of the time they break to the downside. You're overbought. You have a double top right there on the 4 hour time frame. 1, 2, and you're getting overbought. The daily also getting overbought. So to me, I mean, if I have to make a call here for the next 2 weeks for Bitcoin, because that's usually how long these to take, when I see these bigger moves, looks like the daily on Tether dominance will fall back down. We'll see if, the dollar index will fall, and Bitcoin looks like it's going to get a bit of a push to the upside, possibly to 34, 35. Doesn't look like a huge move, but it could just get us back above that $32,000 level. We just need to solidify daily candles, close a weekly candle above that resistance at 30,300. We just got to get that confirmation right now. We're playing up and down in this chop. Chop is hard to trade. Shout out to anyone who's new in the trading group, learning how to trade into the chop. God bless you. You're doing great. I see a lot of people that are really, really changing their lives. So, and that's Tether dominance. So we looked at Bitcoin. We looked at Bitcoin dominance. We looked at Tether dominance. We looked at the DXY. And that's another reason why people love coming to the channel, because we're going to kind of show, and we're going to amass all this data in our minds. We're going to look at it in the subconscious, and we're going to play with the probabilities. And we can start to kind of see an idea of what's happening. And if we keep doing this over and over again, right? You know how many times now I've been on the live and I've seen exactly the data set I'm showing you right now? I've seen Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, all looking similar. And we've had a massive move for Bitcoin more than once, probably 5 or 6 times now in the last 2.5 years, maybe even more. So the idea behind this is to just consistently give yourself market information. Nobody can beat or take away your time in the market. All right. Let's talk about MEXC. I want to discuss kind of how I talked about MEXC here in the trading group. I'm about to give you my special sauce right now, which I shouldn't give away, but I'm going to be nice enough to give it away. It's 10:58. At 11:15, I'm going to give away my special sauce. So I highly advise you stick around for special sauce time, because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind with MEXC. All right. Let's take a look now at the bigger idea and the bigger picture for Bitcoin. I like to take a look at my moving averages and just, and we do this almost every day on the channel. Someone was saying, how do you accumulate Bitcoin? That was one of the super chats too. And we'll get to all your super chats. I guarantee we will. All right. So have no fear. Every once in a while, I might leave one off, like one or 2 times a month or something. Up here pinned, I have the trading group and the MEXC link. Both are very easy and accessible. Hit the links to either of these. Jump on in today. Don't play yourself. Shout out to Justin Cashmore in the house. We are making bearish div on the weekly. I made my first 300% today. Shout out to Jan, we love you, Jan. You knew exactly what I was talking about. Darth, dude. Sauce alert. Sammy will drop some alpha here shortly. Stay tuned. Amen. Any tots for algo? You're funny. We are not physical beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. Pierre-Étienne de Cardin was a French philosopher, paleontologist. Risk management tips, please. Proper risk management. Join my free server right now. This is why you know I'm a nice guy. Hit the link to my Discord, right? Which will give you access to my free server, which watch first and free guides. I'll give you these 2 free guides right here, what you can watch first. What you get if you join my trading group. And these 2 here, that's proper risk management right here. And show you the bot that we've set up on All Trading that works absolutely beautiful and get you ready to go. All right? So, that's amazing. All right. So, the weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly here, as it's got very lack of bearish momentum, but also lack of bullish momentum, you know? We do see some bearish divergence so far. However, not totally confirmed, because what if we get a big spike up in price action? What if we pumped up like this and the RSI followed up? We would not have a bearish divergence anymore, right? Usually bearish divergence occurs after you've reached the dotted line. 90% of the time. Very rare do you have bearish divergence when you haven't gone above the dotted line. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just going over bearish divergence in general, but it is bearish divergence. This is swinging up, candlestick to candlestick. These are swinging down. You're getting a little bit of a curve there on the weekly. However, it's still kind of bouncing back. It's got a V-shape back up to the upside so far. So I just talk about it again. We know we have support at 24,820 to 24,004, that whole area, even to 25K. We wicked up, we wicked down, we bounced, right? Boom. We know we have resistance at this area right here at 31,005, 31,004. We've whipped to it a few times. We can't get above. And then we know we got some good liquidity that's created some buy pressure. And then we know every time we've gone into this zone here where we're at, we have seen some buy pressure. Another thing that I talk about, as long as we stay above the 200 SMA on the weekly chart, we remain bullish. All right. And we could be doing something like this too. We come back down to this trend line, test 26.9, come back up, and make a beautiful ascending triangle for a bigger move up and just nice consolidation. Okay. Don't forget that really still big picture wise is this cup and this handle that really still haven't hit their measured move, which is somewhere up into the 40, I'll show you now, but somewhere up into $45,000 range. I'm open-minded, though. We're going to build every single day, one step at a time, together. That's what we do here on the channel. So we're going to take a look at our 3-day chart. And our 3-day chart, was in the straighter flag, now you can, but it's still technically, you can say, attempting some type of flag here. The fact that the 50 is coming for that 200 is a good sign, and the 21 crossing that is a really good sign. We've back tested when the 21 crosses the 200 SMA on the weekly, and you've never hit the low like lower than this low here. So a couple times you have, but way later after a massive pump up. But like 90% of the time, it creates a massive bull market that you don't revisit that low for years, like on the Dow Jones. And we've done it on the channel multiple times. We've back tested it. Sean can post the link, or we can get the link out for you. It's something you definitely want to check out. So to me, that's a huge sign. All right. And so then we go to the daily, and the daily's still oversold. And then I'm back just into this bullish megaphone idea. And until we really breach this trend line and start to drop nastily, I got to remain, just somewhat bullish here on this idea. The smaller time frames are bearish because we can't get above the zone. And so this is how I break down it all. I hope I'm not confusing anyone. To me, this all makes perfect sense. So then resistance, we can't get above 30,005. But then bounce, we have a nice bounce. So now we've created another range inside of the bigger range. We keep bouncing off 29.5. We keep getting rejected by 30,005. And we're kind of inside of a zone. Once you create a range like this, it's kind of likely you move back to the top of the range. All right. Almost making some type of double bottom here too, you see, which should break back up to here. Also, we've been bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. We have just been ranging inside of the bullish megaphone. And I wouldn't be surprised if we made it back to the top of the range. Just like I said when we were down here and it was all chopping crazy, but I just looked at it open mind, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if we made it to the top of the range. That's exactly what we did. We hit 31.5 or 31.8 even, and then got rejected back down, right? So oversold regions, double bottoming. And so once we look at the bigger picture, we take the deep breath and we go to Bitcoin on the chart that I already had. And now we're back at that 1 hour time frame, 15 minute, and we're inside the flag. And so I hope I just kind of, if you ever was a kid and if you read the book, Mrs. Frizzle, right, in the Magic School Bus, and it's kind of like that. Like we give you the bigger picture, and then we get in the bus and we get inside the human body. You know what I mean? I know it's corny, right? But that's kind of how I feel. If you ever read that book, Sam, do you say T is hard on a coin with low volume? Anything with low volume is hard. I mean, it's like a car with no gas. With the frizz, no way. Life for Adam, what did you have the target of the cup and handle diagonally? Should it just be the height of the cup? No, I don't. That's not how I do it. Yeah. Magic School Bus memories. Yeah. Crypto Air, we love you, man. Eric Carlson, we love you. Alex Smart, we love you. Yeah, I don't do things the way everyone else does. I'm dread mining. I'm a different. I do my own style, my own way. This did break out a little bit to the upside as suggested so far. Measured move would take us to 30,000. We'd have to get back above this 200 SMA. We got to break this high here. Can we do it? 15-minute is getting a little high. It's getting to crunch time for Bitcoin on this Friday afternoon. All right. Still, we see some signs of life here when we break it down. Shout out to the fan funding. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you. What's your opinion either doing DCA weekly or making monthly or bi-weekly larger purchase into Bitcoin? What do you think about Gala? So we talked about Gala. When it comes to Bitcoin, all right, simple for me. This is greatly answered. For me, it's all about going to, BTC, USD, all-time history index, POLX, something like that. It's all about the 2-week chart for me personally. That became my go-to accumulative chart. And I just wait for the stochastics to start getting low, and I put massive amounts into Bitcoin at these levels. So once we started getting into this level here, we were at 20,000, 19,000. I started buying a lot, right? Once we got into 15,008, I had an order actually set at I think 15.5 that didn't get filled. So I didn't get any in the 15s, but I got 16.3, I got 16.8, I got 17, I got a hole at 19,000. I probably got a whole accumulative around 20. I got another whole accumulative between 16 and 19K. So, and I use the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. And to me, it's just a simple way to accumulate. And I've been doing it now for 5 to 6. And I've been telling people, it sounds pompous, but I buy the bottoms of Bitcoin. And if you join my trading group, I can teach you how. And people look at me like I'm insane because no one buys the bottom and no one sells the top. But I've been calling this as a bottom for Bitcoin ever since I found the weekly divergence right there. Then it got extended fine and we had the black swan and it made the divergence even stronger. And I just doubled down. And so I've been calling the bottom ever since about 17.5 to 15.8. I originally did call the bottom here at 17.5 based off the bullish divergence on the weekly. All right. So, and then we had the black swan with FTX and I doubled down and I see other people saying we're going to, we can go down. That's the bottom, That is you have bottomed. And there's like, I've backtested this weekly divergence on multiple indicators. And I know it seems like, oh, he's judging it on one thing, but it's not just one thing. It's one thing that's so strong that you never get to see. You know, it's like going on a safari and seeing an animal that no one ever gets to see. Never. And you get the picture of it. Like, you're the one that knows, but no one else pays attention. So it's a safari, man, you know? So anyway, that's the answer to your question here for your, thank you so much for the $5 Canadian. What's your opinion on DCA? So I buy the, I bought here because look, the stochastics were low. I bought here because the stochastics are low, and that was also a major black swan event. I use major fear, right? When this is heavily in the shaded area, 9, 10 into 16, I have to be purchasing as much Bitcoin as possible. At the time, it feels weird, like, because there's no indications that you're right. I'll always remember buying Bitcoin that day. They said there was going to be a nuclear outbreak, right? And I said, it didn't make sense that the troops would be that close. And I was like, man, this sounds just like some fear mongering by some news station that's trying to do something to something. And the price of Bitcoin was plummeting. Everything looked crazy. I remember, like, I was up late at night here at my desk. It was nuts. I put in so many long, crazy hours and battled through the fear and mentally kept myself, mentally strong. This game is about staying mentally prepared for the next move. This game is about not getting pushed off. They're going to hit you with lawsuits with the SEC. They're going to say it's a security. They're going to say ADA. They're going to go after this. They're going to shut down that. They're going to go after your exchange. It's never going to end. But at one point, we're going to win because we have the fastest, best technological form of money in the world. And we know it. And so we just got to keep our eye on the prize, stay DCAing into the projects that we love, stay swing trading, keeping, learning, however you're learning how to trade, you keep it up. Whether you want to swing trade, leverage trade, whatever you're doing, you keep at it. Small amounts till you know how to double up and then continue to grow. All right? This is just like a business. This is just like a school. Don't expect to be good at it your first month. Don't expect to be good at it your first year. Put in the work, put in the time, hang out with traders that have done the same as you, and eventually that should help you. If you hang around with the people you want to be like, people that trade for a living. And eventually you should be trading for a living. That's what happened to me. I joined a trading group. Eventually they raised me to the rafters. I never had to leave, I go down in history as a legend in that trading group. So join my trading group and go down as a legend in my trading group. Never leave. Do what I did, right? So, again, that's my story. I joined a trading group and I never had to leave it. Never once. I see people like, I can't afford this month. I'm taking a break. And I'm like, I love them. And again, everyone's life is different. But I look at my life and I say to myself, I said, I never left the trading group. I jumped in. I never stopped. I never gave up on the dream. I never gave up on the idea. I never said it wasn't going to happen. There wasn't an option for me. I was going to make it in cryptocurrency or I was going to die trying. That was it. That was it. That was it. I didn't give myself a reason to fail. There was only a way to win. I was going to get out of the 9-to-5. I was going to be able to quit my job. I was going to stop the profession that I had chosen, which wasn't bad, but I didn't want to do anymore. I was going to break on out, no matter what it took, no matter how many long hours I had to work, how many times I had to sit alone. My wife didn't really believe in it. My parents weren't sure. My parents believed in me and loved me, but they didn't understand what could brew up in my mind. Friends and family, no one understood cryptocurrency. So when I was like, all right, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And again, I didn't even know I was going to start a trading group, a YouTube channel. I didn't even put it all together. At one point, I just was sick of not doing something that I love to do. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to start making videos. I'm going to call it the Crypto Lifer. I'm going to start making videos. I don't know where the Crypto Lifer came from. I don't know how the idea. I just said enough is enough. I'm sick of living the same day every day. I want to do something different with my life. And I was watching YouTubers. I was watching all these different people that use the internet to change their lives. And I said, man, there's got to be a way to break through. And then I had this interesting personality that never came across well at work, didn't do well in all the social situations. But I had a vision. I had a way of helping people. I always liked pointing things out and showing people things that I knew. And I wanted to teach and I wanted to grow and I wanted to learn and I wanted to travel. And it's funny, I look at one of my first videos ever and I'm like, I'm going to travel. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. And like, I met so many people in the space, So much has happened in the last 2 years, and I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You know, to me, it did start with trading, and it was about the money, and it was about swinging in all coins and 10xing and 20xing, and but it grew to something so much bigger. It's like God was trying to show me that, yeah, money is fun, being financially free is fun, but teaching and being a part of something bigger than yourself is something you could just never create. You couldn't buy the trading group that I have. You couldn't buy this 556 beautiful souls on the live stream today. Some people try to, right? They pay for views. They do all this other stuff. Whatever. I don't care. People do whatever they want. I'm not. The point of what I'm trying to say is what I have with everybody here today at this present moment in time is from going day in and day out. And you can't buy that. All you can do, that only comes from effort. That only comes from grinding every single day. So we all continue to grind together. We do not stop. And I just want to say it's because of each and every one of you. You believe in me. And so days when and honestly, there's very rarely a day I don't believe in myself. It's very rarely a day, but there has to be a day. I'm pretty sure I'm a human being. Of the 300, 700, 500, 900 days, there's a few days down in there when I'm just like, man, I don't feel 100%. I question things. And when I know there's 558 people on the live stream willing and ready to say what up, willing and ready to learn, wanting to show up, wanting to go over the next coin, asking about a chart, you people are amazing. Liver, do the Patriots make the playoffs this year? I think they definitely do. They got to figure out the Max Jones situation, though. I don't think he's the right fit for us, man. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but just I'm good at premonitions and feeling, and he just doesn't. Something tells me it's not going to last there. He's going to go to San Francisco or something. I don't know where he's going to go, but something doesn't seem to fit over there with Mac Jones. I can't play. I love him. I won't only want to see great things happen to the young guy. I would love it if he was our quarterback and things were great. They're just. I sniff a sense of something, and I can see it brewing here. All right, let's take a look at our baby BitGert here. BRISE. No, not BitGert. Sorry, I don't know why I call it BitRise. BRISE, yeah. So I like what I'm seeing. Beautiful little falling wedge here that could break back to the upside. Nice little boom, ba doom, doom, right? It's respecting the trend line. It's got tight moving averages. The 1 hour wants to make a move. We just put THETA in one of these, and THETA made the same exact move to the upside. Let's take a look at our baby THETA. I want to show you something about MASK. Remember, I was going to show you something about MASK? Don't worry, I'm still going to show you. Stay tuned. I have to open up another chart because I got so much to show you because I'm so excited. I get really, really excited about technical analysis. Hey, and I don't, you know what? I used to be kind of embarrassed about stuff like that, because my mind was, different. Simple things get me going. But look, we had THETA like this. This is the Binance chart. Let me just get the KuCoin chart here. So, right? I'm not saying they're exact, but you're getting a trend line with a falling wedge meeting the trend line with tight moving averages. 200 getting involved. Oversold stochastics RSI, right? MACD showing lack of momentum in the bearish tones. You get above this medium line here on the RSI, and you could see a move there. This also, in some type of symmetrical, a breakout is coming soon on that RSI. You've already bottomed out. It's interesting. So it does look like a nice 22%, at least to the top of the channel, maybe a 10% little scalpage. If Bitcoin can continue sideways, stay from when Bitcoin stays sideways, the altcoins like to play. So thank you for your super chat. This looks nice to me. I'll take a look at the 4 hour time frame. Both oversold. I'll look at the daily and the 22. Daily's a little too high for me, but look, I believe if we can pattern trade and stay humble, it looks like there's likely a bit of a move here. So we sniff out gains here on this channel and in the trading group. And if you miss the live stream and you're not able to come to the live, we post these things to the trading group during the live so you can have access to them as well. All right. We want to make sure that you are feeling comfortable. We want to make sure that you get all the knowledge possible, even if you can't make it to the live. So we love you. We hope you're having a wonderful day. We appreciate you. You made me. I will continue to help make you. And together, we will strive. My business is the business of helping others. So if you want to pay for my school, I'm the teacher that's going to show up every single day without a day off. My school is always open. We're not like, oh, last night I was traveling, one of the first nights that I didn't do an update, but in that probably it was like 1 out of 900 times. Very, very rare. All right. Very, very rare. So BRISE, thank you for the super chat. Looks interesting to me. Looks like a high probability play. Daily could be the one that kind of puts an anchor, puts a trying to think of the best metaphor, but puts the kibosh on that idea. How's that? That makes most sense. Get yourself a NordVPN if you want to use a VPN. Get yourself a NordVPN today. NordVPN. All right. Link in the description below. I like Nord. It's easy. It works great. I've had Nord for years. Never had an issue. I had Nord before I was even a known YouTuber, and I could even sell a Nord affiliate link. Like, I applied, and they were like, no, like, you're not cool enough. And I was like, all right. I was going to tell people about y'all, but like, I don't know, But I love Nord. NordVPN, sign up, link in the description below. Also, you should be on the Brave browser. In my humble opinion, you got to get yourself on the Brave browser. Super important you're doing that. The Brave browser, okay? So don't play yourself. Don't miss out on getting onto the Brave browser. You're never going to watch another ad again. I mean, it's the way to go. So Brave browser is the way to be. It's what you want. All right, moving forward, let's jump on in. VELO, right? Continuing to get tighter and tighter in this bigger channel. Only a matter of time, something's brewing for VELO, and I believe it's to the upside. So I'm watching VELO closely. I have an alert on it. You want to use as many alerts as you can. Alerts. You should be setting 4 to 5 alerts a day, in my humble opinion, in my trading group. You should be spending an hour in the morning, an hour at night before bed, going over your alerts, double checking, seeing what looks like a good play and what doesn't. Half the reason why people aren't making money in my trading group. If you're struggling, if I don't see it, but I'm just saying, if someone says, hey, I'm not making money, I'm struggling, it's because you're, number one, you didn't go to the trading learning library where we teach you how to use alerts right off the bat, right? Number three, number two, you don't use alerts for that reason, right? Number three, you can't keep track of your trades or what you're looking at because you don't use alerts. Like you look at one thing one day, then the next thing, and you miss that one, and you miss. And now a month goes by, and you're like, you got to be organized about the way you look at the charts, about what I push out. I'd be recharting everything I rechart. Second I rechart something, like I just put BRISE out there. A smart trader in the trading group has that chart open right now and has recharted it, added their own little alert to it, put it away, maybe added it to a list and moved on. You know what I mean? You want to continue to add to your list. You want to continue to add to your ideas. All right. I can only show you the way, but you got to stay organized. You got to treat this like a business. You got to be serious and tight about it. Look, tight moving averages with the 200 outlier says we could hit it. I know the daily stochastics do not look great to me at all. Looks like we're going to have to go sideways for a little bit first or get flipped. But the 4-hour looks interesting to me for VELO. And I feel like VELO's got a long time coming. Like, a move for VELO to me looks imminent. VELO's worth watching for me personally. All right. See how this is getting tight? So I just look for these consolidated moves. Bitfrost getting tighter and tighter. You can even see this is like a little bit of a flag, see? I'm not saying that's ready to go. Kind of an Adam and Eve double bottom too. Interesting. Safest play would be to watch it break out and retest. come back to the liquidity zone. Little gap in the VRVP there. So I'm using VRVP. I'm using MACD, RSI, stochastic. I'm using volume and price action. And I'm using stochastics RSI. I'm using moving averages. I'm also using patterns and trend and support and resistance. And I'm using it all at once. But when you first start off, you'll be able to see one of those. It takes time. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. Don't beat yourself up and be like, oh, I don't know how to do this. It's just like, man, come on. One step at a time, one day at a time. This is a learning curve. You got to just get the skills. What if someone brought you to a soccer field and never taught you the rules and say, hey, play soccer, and you never knew how to play? You'd be grabbing the ball with your hands, right? They'd be telling you, hey, you can't do that. You would have no idea what you're doing. Same thing with trading. Like, don't show up into, a trading arena and be like, I'm here, everyone. I'm going to make money. I don't know the rules. There's rules, right? So the daily's a little high. 22-hour could flip. Daily's a little overbought here, but that 22 outlier is interesting for this life crypto. Moving average is getting tighter. This looks interesting to me. And it's Freaky Friday, man. I'm just going off. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to show you something in a second now. All right, here we go. I'm going to give you some amazing alpha right now. I really shouldn't do this because this is my advanced class and what I've been working on, but okay. Okay, so here we go. I look at MASC and I see it's at the top of the pattern. I see that the 1 hour time frame is overbought. And I want the 1 hour to come back. I want to get into MASC at the bottom of the pattern. All right. I see it's at 377. I want really 368, 365 area. You know what I mean? So let's go back in time and let's take a look at that. Let's match these up. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was that one right there. Let's just double check. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yep, okay. Yeah, so it was this hill right here, and we wanted to get into MASC 359, 360, bottom of the channel. All right, bottom of the channel. Now let's go back in time. So here we were. Now what I did is I put a blue line here. And I set an alert on MASC for when it would come down to the bottom of the channel. I also set 2 alerts here on the stochastics RSI. All right. Now I did it on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour also was a little kind of in indecision, and we want this to come back to the bottom of the pattern. When the alerts hit, I want to take a look at the smaller time frames, like the 15-minute, maybe even the 7. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I believe that's happening. Let's take a look at what's going down. That's usually what goes on. POLX, please. Thank you. Hey, Sam, what's the deal with Bitcoin 2? Is it legit? I don't know. Nothing's legit out there in that little meme world, man. Be careful. In and out. I would be careful. I don't know. I would never be able to tell you what's legit in the meme world. I believe Bitcoin's legit. Anyway, and you wait for this to come down. Now, this is my alert system that I perfected. Now, that hits. That alert, that's time to enter the trade, 361. And see, there was our entry right there, 366, even a little lower. And we nail the trade. And then we wait. And then it breaks on out, right? Now, this one didn't get the huge breakout, but I got a big enough one. And just got a nice candle to the upside right now, getting the bounce back to the upside. Still holding gains of 9%. All right? So this is, a key to how I learn, how I teach you how to trade. And you kind of want to, so you want to be looking for overbought price action and setting traps into oversold price action. You should have 15 alerts right now set on a bunch of oversold charts. You should be 5 days ahead of the next 5 trades. You should be able to continue to move your trades like a conveyor belt into the next trade. That's how I'm able to run the trading group the way I do. I'm giving you away my special sauce. I really shouldn't do this. All right. But again, I'm here for my legacy, not for anything else. So. All right. So that's how we made gains here of 9%. But it was all planned out. And actually a little more if you caught the actual bottom 11, and it's all planned out. We saw it happen before. This is how we wanted it to play out. Exactly as this is the key to the trade. This is the type of stuff you learn in my trading group that you just won't learn anywhere else, because no one else, I didn't take this from some other trading group. You know, there's people out there, there's ICT, there's all, believe me, I know all about what's going on. I know everyone out there. My style is completely unique to myself. It does take the traditional style, but the things that I teach you are completely unique. Shout out to Big Tuna Crypto on the game. Sam, fantastic technical analysis. Happy Friday. Shout out to my man, Big Tuna Crypto. We love you. POLX from Fit for Business. And is Bitcoin too legit? I don't know, man. I don't know. And this man says THETA is the Pepe killer. You can find THETA now. You can go research it, guys. Do your own research. I'm not going to pull it up. I'll do that on my own time because I don't want to, I don't even want to influence anyone to even look at it like on my live stream. You do whatever makes you happy. THETA. All right. It is, though. Hold on one second. I believe I can. I should be brighter now. Watch, I'm still dark, right? I'll figure it out on my own time. But yeah, I'm a little shadowed up, right? It's tough being live every single day of your life. You know what I mean? Like at one point, you're just like, you share your face with the world every single day. Hey, it's my choice, right? I put myself here. It is what it is. You just don't think of all the, when you start live streaming, you don't think of like the hundreds of days, and you just don't think of it all, And we talked about SNX. Remember, it got a little bit of a buzz. People were talking about it, had a little bit of a move here to the upside. A nice 14% gains out of that. Look, and all you got to do is channel it. Nothing crazy here. 21-day moving average has to be touching price action for me to touch it. I will not open trades if I'm not near the 21. I just won't. Pretty simple to me. All right. SNX getting a little bit of a move to the upside. Shout out to Master Friend. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everyone that's part of the crew. We appreciate you. POLX, please. We took a nice scalp on that. Haven't touched it since, right? Let's take a look. It's been collapsing since that scalp, actually. We took this scalp right here, if you remember correctly. I was like 7-minute scalp, and literally in 27 minutes, it was up like 27%. It was crazy, or so, I don't know. It would happen pretty fast. Maybe not 27, but it seemed like it happened in 2 seconds. All right, let's look at what's up now. Let's take a look at our daily. Now, like most coins, it's at the bottom of its barrel, right? If you look at the bigger picture. Polyastic. It's attempting to make a giant double bottom. It's bouncing off the lowest point that these coins are the lowest they've ever been. Sam, we are your present/history and your future. Son is your legacy, man. Lineage. I love you, OMAC, man. God bless you, man. You're never going to stop until it's funny, man. You plant that seed, no pun intended, but funny. Now I'm like, I see myself like 60 years old with like a younger bride. It's crazy, man. Anyway, hey, you never know, man. You make me realize that my destiny isn't set the way I think it is. There's always opportunity, right? So that's kind of what I like about it. So look, right, we had this bullish divergence here. We got the breakout. We're getting the bullish divergence here. We should get the breakup, right? Oversold on the daily with the divergence even on the indicator as well. You want the break back to the upside. 4-hour too as well. So showing you signs. However, you're at the lowest this thing's ever been. It's very high risk. Very high risk. So I personally don't like to play. I'll swing trade something that looks good here and there on a smaller time frame. But I wait, bounce. I wouldn't touch it unless it could flip this zone. Preferably flip this diagonal trend line. You know what I mean? On top of also this resistance bar. Previous support, you got a bounce. That's going to be a resistance area at 3653. So you're going to want to get back above that zone to remain bullish for POLX. It's just the way it is, right? So I don't know what to tell you over here, but I do see oversold. You know, the indicators suggest a bounce, and you do see a bullish divergence. But again, you got to get back above that area of support to remain bullish for POLX. And I'm curious about XRP myself. I want to take a look at what's happening to XRPeasly. So we talked about it possibly working out. We drew this flag. It did break out 12%. Not too bad. Let's take a look at the bigger and the smaller picture for XRP. So huge, nice candle up. It broke this beautiful resistance. It was in a ascending triangle as we had identified. They break up 50% of the time, and there was good news. You were also oversold on the 3-day chart, 3-day pump. Still has momentum on the 3-day. But where did you come to? I mean, you also had a gap in the VRVP. I'll zoom out a little bit and it comes back out. See this gap here? High volume node sticking out. Right there, see that? And you have this space. You went through that space. It's amazing how this indicator works pretty well. I mean, and even if you didn't use the indicator, it's the same as, well, where's the most chunk? Well, up and down, up and down. That's the area where you should get a pause, right? So now you're looking like, where would support be? And so you look left, all right? And you can see here, you can begin to build some zones. Resistance, wicked, kind of up and down, fell through, wicked, up and down, bounce, resistance. So that, to me, is an area to look at, okay? And then we see we have clear resistance here at 88. So it made sense that we would wick into the zone. And we're going to have some resistance at 99. We're actually going to go through we have a lot of resistance up to 130. Cool that we even get to say that for now, right? So, and we look at our weekly. Our weekly says, hey, there's more coming. It's not all bad. And our daily saying, hey, we're a little high. So you had the pump. The 21-day moving average and the daily, they need to conjoin. So it would be great if this could consolidate, similar to kind of what Casper's doing. And then we can get a bigger move further up to 123. That should take 5 to 6 days, 5 to 8 days, something like that. And the stochastics could reset, and we would kiss the 21-day moving average. We may also be making a falling wedge of sorts. We don't know exactly what the pattern will bring. But that would be healthy if we retested 63 and then we broke back up to about 117 for XRP. So crazy. All right, and that brings me to the news, everybody. Shout out to everybody who's here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's bring that music down. Let's jump on into the news. God bless you all for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. The research over here, the research. All right. And, every day I'm amazed, too, because there's more and more bigger companies coming into crypto, and it's only a matter of time. Some big names today. All right? Some big names today. Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I do a show called The Crypto Lifer Show. I'm the Crypto Lifer, and with the Lifers together, we make the awesomest, most informative, most intelligent show in all of the interwebs. I love it. It's a great show. You should come check it out. Today, we're going to give you the news in 3 to 5 minutes and talk about the biggest names. Things that I like are, older companies, basically Web3 combining with older legacy companies, like when Radio Shack makes an NFT, stuff like that gets me going. And we have a similar story today. McDonald's opens McNuggets land in the metaverse. But McWhy? The fast food giant is celebrating the 40th anniversary of the menu item with a perplexing new Web3 activation. It's McNuggets time. McDonald's is celebrating the 40th anniversary of Chicken McNuggets by opening something called McNuggets Land in the metaverse platform, the Sandbox. It's not the first time the fast food giant has shown interest in virtual worlds. The company filed a patent application to operate a virtual restaurant online featuring home delivery in 2022. But given the downturn in consumer and VC interest in Web3, it begs the question, why now? Why this? And is Grimace there? Joining the land of McNuggets, which took me 2 attempts in over 10 minutes, you're greeted with pixelated McNugget characters such as Coach McNugget and his assistant, creatively named Assistant Coach McNugget. Coach McNugget invites players to start the fun by finding your 4 McDonald's signs, and what gamer doesn't seek an adventure like this? But off I went to find them. By playing the game, players can earn rewards, including 100,000 sand shared prize pool, roughly $44,000, and mystery boxes. I think sand is going to have a huge comeback, and it's going to be big. And someone says, why? As a company, it's funny. The news says, why would they do this now when it's not that big? Well, as a company, you don't do things when they're awesomely popular. You build when they're not popular. So when they're popular, your infrastructure is in place. They don't want to be irrelevant. They don't want to become Blockbuster. McDonald's making some, and this is just more people are going to follow suit. They're going to say, look what McDonald's did, and you're going to see this. This is only good because this could only make the price of sand go up over time. Look at the indirect, result of what happens here. Sand's token. So I love seeing this. I like seeing big companies that we already know, that already have a big brand name and have already done a lot of advertising and still continue to push marketing around the world. Their marketing becomes our marketing when they couple with the metaverse. So this is a good deal. I like what's happening here. Wormhole launches new blockchain connecting to any Cosmos app chain. The Wormhole gateway is designed to make it easier for developers and users to on-ramp liquidity into the Cosmos ecosystem. The Wormhole Foundation launched a new application-specific blockchain app into the Cosmos ecosystem Friday morning. This just started. This is brand new news, making it the first app chain that connects liquidity and users for more than 20 different blockchains to any Cosmos app chain. According to Wormhole blog post, the new blockchain called Gateway is designed to make it easier for developers and users to on-ramp tokens to any Cosmos chain with the purpose of driving liquidity to grow the Cosmos ecosystem. I believe Atom is just getting started. People don't really know how big it's going to be. I hold Atom with a vision of a possible $100 to $150 coin and some big market cap because it's going to be used by a lot of people in the space. So I like this kind of back-end idea. This just kind of adds to my idea why I like Atom and Cosmos. And remember, Injective protocol, integrating with Injective, that could help Injective. When Atom grows, Injective grows. Injective is my sleeper Atom play. So remember, we've been trading Injective since $1. We called that move all the way up to 9 had you been in the trading group. Ripple applies for crypto license in UK and Ireland following the Ripple XRP ruling. In the wake of the significant legal victory against SEC, Ripple, the renowned crypto payments giant, has set its sights on securing coveted spots in the UK and Ireland. I like this. It frees them up. They can start kind of doing things they wanted to do in the first place. Kind of gets the monkey off their back. I'm super excited a company can now operate with all the innovation, all the tech, and all the things that they envisioned in the first place. How dare they get held back by a $100 million lawsuit and have to fight through all that? But you know what? They got through it. They had the funds. They made it happen. But not everyone else is that lucky. Shout out to Ripple for sticking up for the people. Shout out to Ripple for fighting for other cryptocurrencies. And I like that they're moving in. And now they get to do things that they've already kind of were setting. They're probably how they set in place years ago, but they couldn't do it. So, and everyone, that is the news for the day. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate it. Yeah. The news is hot. It comes in hot every single day. All right. Bitcoin still inside the flag on the 15-minute time frame. All right. Now some sideways price action for the 15-minute, making the M pattern that we talked about. There's the M, no goo. That's no good. M pattern's likely to break to the downside and continue down. That could be a nice short right here because that's the right side of your M. And then the dumpage, right? So, again, I mean, the bulls have to show up and get us back above resistance areas. They just can't seem to do it. Every time we have a chance, we get sold off by the bears. So, lackluster range set for Bitcoin. One thing that I could project for you here before it happens is this possible symmetrical triangle beginning to brew. If we can come down here and bounce off this lower trend, maybe save this line of liquidity here. So look for that bounce. That could be an area that we could watch. And then again, another symmetrical. This is probably likely where we end up later today. And just more chop for Bitcoin on a Friday in the summertime. All right. I'm sitting here alone in my house doing this. Okay, let's get to the story of I didn't get to go into the tie, which is kind of sad. The tie should have been like the first story of the night or of the day, whatever, you know. The tie. So what's up with the tie? Well, this was my father's tie. My dad liked fun ties. He really did. Look at this thing. It gets real wide. It's like, you know what I mean? Back then, I guess they had like wider, more, I guess they were called party ties. I really, you know? And my dad had so many of them. This one had the gray here, so that's why I wore the gray shirt. I thought the gray and the gray, pretty cool how they matched, but you can't see the gray, I realized once it was underneath the vest. Purposely wore this vest because this vest goes lower so you can see more of the tie, which I thought was pretty good. Anyway, the idea behind this is, I mean, it's a Friday, and as I was getting ready, I swear I heard my dad's voice, and he whispered, he goes, "It's a Friday, man. You know, make it fun for the people. Like, it's Friday, bro. Like, people like to have fun on a Friday. If you know, don't be so, you know." And I saw this tie, and I said, "All right, I'll wear that tie, Dad." So it's almost like my dad was, I don't know, you know, and whether we talk to ourselves or whether my dad really said it deep in my soul. So this was my father's tie. I've never worn it in my life. He left me like in February. He's like, "Here, take all my ties." And he looked at me. He's like, "You know I'm dying, right?" And I think I said it here even on the channel. But and I cried, man. I remember when he gave me all his ties, I cried. Like, I got home and I had literally like 2 hangers of like 60 ties. I'm talking like every tie he ever bought in his life that he amassed. You know, because when he was 40, he bought a few ties, right? Then he was in his 50s and he thought, you know, he maybe bought some ties. He was in his 30s, he got some ties in his 30s. Then he was older in his 40s, he got some, you know. Then he was 50, and then like as he got older, he kind of had his own business by the time he was in his late 40s. By the time he was 50 years old, he didn't have to work for anyone else. So sometimes during the middle of the day, he'd go to TJ Maxx, you know, or, you know, Filene's basement, and he would just look for the nice section, and everyone, you know, he had all day, so he'd spend an hour in there. Maybe he didn't see something he liked, he didn't buy nothing. But if he saw like a really nice Tommy Hilfiger tie or, you know, he always bought name brand, like really nice things, but he was very frugal about it. And I'll be honest, in his older years, he got bored some days, and I think he just spent some time buying, like, and he ended up with so many shirts and ties, sweaters. Me and my mom are going through his stuff recently, and he just has so many things. Like, he had, you know. So my dad gave me all his ties, and the day he gave me his ties was like, it was the passing. It was like something told me that he was going to pass away soon. I can't explain it, you know. And I remember being on the live and being like, my dad gave me his ties, like, and I remember crying to my wife like a baby, and she being like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, you know, when a man gives his ties away, like, he knows he's not going to some big wedding anymore. Like, he doesn't know anyone anymore. You know, my dad kind of, like, his circle of people drifted away. Most of them died, you know, and he couldn't get into a car for too long. Like, he couldn't take a drive for more than 40 minutes to an hour, really, because his knee and his back hurt. So he knew he wasn't getting on a plane to Honolulu, like, you know. He kind of wrote off the fact that he was going to go to anyone's party or any type of event. And he handed me his ties, like, I'm going to live at home, like, and, you know, like, he kind of knew. And it was a sign to me. And 2 months later, you know, that was late February, March, April. And May 2nd, my dad would pass away. Still having a really hard time with the death of my father. I'm not going to lie. I want to lie and act like everything's great. But missing my dad is like torture. Because he used to call me every day, and I don't get to hear his voice anymore, and it really sucks. I'm letting it out right now. It sucks. You know? Like, oh, my dad, like, where are you, man? Like, can I just get a day, baby? Can I just get a moment? Can I get one phone call, man? Please. It's like torture. Imagine, like, the most love coming at you, and then it just disappears one day. And you never get it back. And you can never get it back no matter how hard you try. You know? And then you see your mom alone, living alone, and it hurts. I don't care how much money I make in a day. I don't care how many big trades I make. Nothing will bring back my pops, you know? And nothing will cheer up my mom the way my dad did. But man, I'm all right. I'm going to be fine. I just want y'all to know, like, it's not easy. You know what? And all I can do is ask myself, what would my dad say right now? And he'd say, man up, stop crying, get yourself together, you know, and just work, man. Work hard. Do something today for your company. Do something today for your family. Do something today for someone else. Grind, you know. So in his passing, I have to honor his strength. You know, I'm whining today right now, and he never, ever whined about knowing that he was going to, he looked me dead in the face, you know, I'm dying, right? But he wasn't like, I'm dying. He never cried knowing that maybe his life was coming to an end. Finally, like the end of his life. Calling my mom and pops now. Much love, bro. Keep your head up. Yeah, call your mother, call your father. Please reach out to someone. If you haven't spoken to your brother, your sister, if there's someone in your life right now that you haven't spoken to, please reach out to them. Fine, let them hang up on you and say no. You know, and then call them again next week and go 3 or 4 times and then say I did what I could. But be the bigger person on the other side of that phone. Be the bigger person. Make that drive. Ring that doorbell. Write that letter. You know, write that email. Send that text. Whatever it is. Patch up any relationship you have in your life that doesn't seem to be fitting well. Patch it up. Please. Please. I didn't die with me and my dad's relationship. Me and my dad's relationship was great. But you know what? Thank God it was. And I think back, if it wasn't, how much more torturous his death would have been for me. Had I hung up on him and not spoken to him for a month and then he passed. Like, had any of that happened, his death would have been so insane, you know? My son's friend of 19 years got hit by a dump truck yesterday. I don't know the kid well, but my son did. It reminded me that life is short. We aren't promised tomorrow. I know. My son-in-law called me last night, and we had a very powerful conversation about an hour. His mother passed away yesterday morning. He's having a tough time. I'm so happy you're there for your daughter's husband, man. It's really cool that you have a good relationship with your daughter's husband, that you've taken him in that family sense. He is so blessed to have that with his father-in-law. My father-in-law has passed away, right? And he wasn't a talkative guy. I never would have had that close of a relationship, but he was a good man, and he respected me, and I respected him, and that's really all that matters. And I asked for his daughter's hand in marriage, and I did everything I was supposed to the right possible way, right? So look at Bitcoin. It's slightly respecting this upper trend line. It's getting tight. That's a symmetrical right there that could break on out. Okay, 15-minute likely to double top here and come back down to the bottom of this pattern, but starting to make kind of a symmetrical triangle yet again. What you're looking for now that I'm seeing is kind of this bowl, and do you make a cup? And do we blast this cup and handle out later on today? Low liquidity Fridays, baby. One day you will see him again, Sam. Thank you. His dad died when he was a kid. So good. Thanks again, brother. Never stop being who you are. Everyone, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm here alone today. Been a very emotional summer for me. Is this the first summer without my dad? And I go to see my mom, and she's alone, you know? So I spent 2 weeks with my mom, and then my sister came for 2 days, and we overlapped, and then I left. And then my sister stayed for 2 weeks, right? And then I came for a week. So my mom had someone at the house for 5 weeks. So now this week my mom will be alone, just kind of like dealing with life, you know? And I don't know what's worse. Sometimes I feel the pain my dad went through,
or that my mom's alone, you know? You're never alone. We are here, and God is everywhere. Jay Bella, thank you. Amen, man. Amen. Well, everybody, thank you for chilling with me this extra moment in time. Some days I just want to talk about my life. I just want to go over how I feel, if that's okay. I'm a human being, you know, and some days I let it out, baby. My dad would tell me to stop crying like a little girl. I agree. You remind me to send a hi to my mom. Yeah. And again, I'm done. God bless you, Sam. When our loved ones pass, they are going to the next world because you are going to do something amazing, and you need guidance from the other side. R.I.P. my father. R.I.P. my father. R.I.P. to my father, Jimmy Price. Have a blessed day, everybody. I love you more than you would ever know. Stay blessed.